You've probably used this sauce on steak. Maybe you've splashed it into a Bloody Mary, or mixed it into a marinade, but most people can't even pronounce its name: Worcestershire sauce. And here's the strange part. It was invented by accident. Tasted so bad the creators hid it in a basement. And when they opened the barrel 18 months later, it had transformed into one of the most famous sauces in the world. Today, Worcestershire sauce shows up everywhere. Steakhouses, Bloody Mary cocktails, burger sauces, Caesar salads, even grilled cheese sandwiches. It's thin, dark brown, and almost impossible to describe. Sweet, tangy, savory, slightly funky, and somehow just a few drops can completely change the flavor of a dish. But the real story behind this mysterious sauce is far stranger than most people realize. Chapter 1. The impossible name. Let's start with the name. Most people have no idea how to pronounce Worcestershire. If you try sounding it out, you might say something like Worcestershire, but that's not even close. The correct pronunciation is more like Worcestershire. It comes from Worcester, a historic city in England, and like many English place names, the spelling doesn't match the way it's spoken. Even native English speakers often get it wrong. In fact, many restaurants simply shorten it to Worcester sauce, just to avoid the confusion. But the strange name is only the beginning of the story. Chapter 2. The Pharmacy Experiment. The origin of Worcestershire sauce begins in 1835. At the time, the city of Worcester, England, was home to two chemists, John Wheeley Leah and William Henry Perrins. They ran a small pharmacy. Like many chemists of the time, they didn't just sell medicines, they also experimented with recipes and food products. One day, according to the traditional story, a British nobleman visited their shop. This man had recently returned from India, which was part of the British Empire at the time. While there, he had developed a taste for a complex fermented sauce used in Indian cooking. He asked Leah and Perrins to recreate it. So the chemists began experimenting. They mixed together a strange collection of ingredients: vinegar, molasses, anchovies, tamarind, garlic, onions, salt, and a blend of spices. The mixture smelled strong, but when they tasted it, it was awful. Chapter 3. The sauce that was too bad to sell. According to legend, the flavor was so unpleasant that the chemists immediately rejected it. It was overpowering, sharp, fishy, far too intense to serve to anyone. So they did what many people do with failed experiments. They put it aside. The mixture was poured into a barrel and stored in the cellar beneath their shop. And then they forgot about it. Months passed, then more months. Eventually, 18 months went by. The barrel sat quietly in the basement, untouched. But inside that barrel, something remarkable was happening. Chapter 4. The Fermentation Miracle. During those 18 months, the ingredients began to ferment. Fermentation is the same natural process used to create foods like soy sauce, fish sauce, cheese, kimchi, and wine. Microorganisms slowly break down proteins and sugars, transforming the flavor. In Worcestershire sauce, the most important ingredient for this process was anchovies. Anchovies are rich in proteins. Over time, fermentation breaks those proteins down into amino acids. One of those amino acids produces a compound called glutamate. Glutamates are responsible for the deep, savory flavor known as umami. This is the same flavor found in foods like Parmesan cheese, soy sauce, mushrooms, and aged meats. As the sauce fermented, the harsh flavors softened. The ingredients blended together, sharp edges disappeared, and something extraordinary emerged. When Leah and Perrins eventually rediscovered the forgotten barrel, they decided to taste it again. This time, it was incredible. Chapter 5. The Birth of Worcestershire Sauce. The chemists immediately realized they had created something special. What once tasted terrible had transformed into a rich, balanced sauce unlike anything else. Sweet from molasses, tangy from vinegar and tamarind, salty from anchovies, savory from fermentation. They began producing the sauce commercially. And in 1837, the brand Leah and Perrins Worcestershire sauce officially launched. The company quickly found an ingenious way to market it. They convinced British ship captains to carry bottles on long sea voyages. Passengers tasted the sauce during meals. When they returned home, they began asking local stores for it. Demand spread rapidly. Within a few decades, Worcestershire sauce had become popular across Europe and North America. Chapter 6. The Secret Recipe. Even today, the exact recipe for Worcestershire sauce remains a closely guarded secret. The original Lee and Perrins recipe is reportedly locked away in a bank vault. However, historians and food scientists know the core ingredients include vinegar molasses, sugar salt, anchovies, tamarind extract, garlic, onions, spices. The anchovies remain the key ingredient. Without them, the fermentation process and the deep umami flavor would not exist. Interestingly, many people who dislike fish never realize anchovies are part of the sauce. Once fermented and blended with the other ingredients, the fishy taste disappears. Instead, it contributes depth and richness. Chapter 7. Why Worcestershire? Sauce tastes so complex. One reason Worcestershire sauce is so versatile is that it activates almost every taste receptor on your tongue. Sweetness from molasses and sugar, sourness from vinegar and tamarind, saltiness from anchovies, umami from fermentation, bitterness from spices. Most foods stimulate only one or two of these taste receptors. Worcestershire sauce stimulates nearly all of them at once. That's why even a few drops can dramatically improve the flavor of soups, sauces, and meats. It acts almost like a flavor amplifier. Chapter 8. A sauce that traveled the world. As British trade expanded during the 19th century, Worcestershire sauce spread across the globe. Different cultures began adapting it to their own cuisines. In the United States, it became a key ingredient in Bloody Mary cocktails, meatloaf, and burger sauces. In Canada, it's often added to Caesar cocktails. In Japan, a thick variation called Gusuda sauce became popular, eventually inspiring sauces used in dishes like tonkatsu and okonomiyaki. In Mexico, Worcestershire sauce appears in mecheladas, grilled meats, and street food marinades. Each country adapted the sauce slightly, but the core flavor remained the same. Chapter 9. The El Salvador Obsession. One of the most surprising Worcestershire sauce stories comes from El Salvador. There, the sauce became incredibly popular. People add it to eggs, rice beans, soups, grilled meats, even snacks. By the 1990s, El Salvador reportedly had the highest per-person consumption of Worcestershire sauce in the world. For many Salvadorans, it's not just a condiment, it's a daily ingredient. Chapter 10. The Science of Flavor Aging. Modern food science now explains why Worcestershire sauce improves so dramatically during those 18 months in the cellar. Fermentation breaks down complex molecules into smaller flavor compounds. Proteins become amino acids. Sugars become organic acids. New aromatic molecules form. These processes create complexity that fresh mixtures simply cannot match. It's the same reason foods like aged cheese, soy sauce, and balsamic vinegar taste richer over time. In many ways, Worcestershire sauce behaves more like a fermented seasoning than a typical condiment. Next time you reach for that bottle of Worcestershire sauce, take a moment to think about its strange journey, a failed experiment, a forgotten barrel in a basement, 18 months of fermentation, and a flavor transformation no one expected. Today, that same sauce appears in kitchens all over the world, from steakhouses to street food stalls, from cocktails to marinades, all because two chemists accidentally left a bad recipe in a cellar. Sometimes the most ordinary ingredients in our kitchens have the most extraordinary stories. If you enjoy discovering the hidden history behind everyday foods, like and subscribe for more videos just like this.